Michael J. Todd legal standpoint with Michael J. Todd is he's texting people right now to get people to join in, and that's what we need you to do. Once you receive his text, once you receive the Facebook invite, we want you to share this. We have this on Restream. We have it all over. We also have it on Apple and Spotify, that type of thing. We want you to share it because what we have is some great information that we want to share with you. And you know, all the time I'm with attorneys, and that's what Attorney Todd is. I always feel compelled that I have to take notes. So watch this. There you go. He's not going to be the only one with a piece of paper.
I'm not.
No, I can't have that, man. We can't have that. So we're going to do that on our end, too. Lawyers always be doing that, you know. I'll be taking copious notes. But, you know, as we taking copious notes, we going through this whole thing of America in the post-Trump era. What's going on, man? Tell me what's up.
Man, you know, I was... Well, of course, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. But as we go through this edition of Legal Standpoint, I just started thinking about something. I had an interaction with a young man earlier this week. Mm-hmm. And we were just talking about, common interests of individuals, objectives that individuals would have. And I kind of suggested to him that, you know, with the political season coming up, with the election coming up, that we had a lot of races that could affect, you know, himself and myself. Our interests, the person I was talking to, our interests were pretty aligned. And so I just kind of outlined to him, hey, look, you know, there may be some other races that you may need to support. And as I was telling him that, he was like, well, what do you mean? I said, well, you know, we've got races in Georgia, we've got races in Wisconsin, we've got races that, all over the country that could affect it. He was like, man, why am I going to give some money to some people who can't do nothing for me?
Oh, man, he plays you like that? Huh?
Yeah. I said, well, what do you mean they can't do anything for you?
He said, like, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, words to that effect.
He says, well, I'm not in that district, so why am I going to give some money to somebody that, you know, I'm not in their district? And I said, well, the thing is, what you have to understand is that you and I and other people around this country, we have a common interest, common objectives. And we need to be collectively together to support those individuals that support our objectives.
Right.
And it doesn't make a difference if that person is in, you know, Texas or Wisconsin or anywhere else, because we're all in this together. And so, some of the things that we want are going to be affected by who's in office, not only just where you live, but also in other states, other counties, all across the country. And so it just kind of made me think that, sometimes maybe we just are a little short-sighted, as it relates to how we support individuals and how it can have a cumulative effect on the objectives and interests that we're trying to ascertain.
Okay. So you've been doing, again, that's the reason why I have my pad and pencil, ink pen rather. I want to take good notes.
Okay.
You come up with all these facts and everything. Where are we at in the United States that we need to be more concerned? Then obviously we need to be concerned with Congressional District 30. Where else?
Well, you know what? Well, let's take Congressional District 30 as an example.
Okay.
I live in Congressional District 30.
So do I.
Which has been Eddie Bernice Johnson, right. And which is now the nominee, the Democratic nominee, is going to be Jasmine Crockett. Now, if I just took the short-sighted view that I only need to vote for the person that's within my district, okay, then I would only support Jasmine Crockett. But the thing is that we need to have individuals that are all over this county, this state, this country, that are supporting the objectives that we desire. So, would it be foolish for me to support Colin Allred, who's also a U.S. congressman in the state of Texas that also represents people in this county? Well, I think it would be, and I have in the past. And the thing is that what I want to do is to be able to make sure that those individuals in these other counties that are going to affect me are going to be the type of people that I want, the type of people that think, and the type of people that are looking at those objectives like I am. So, I mean, that's a perfect example there. Because a lot of people say, well, man, I mean, he's not in my district. He's not representing me. Why I need to why I need to give him some money? Well, because number one, we want to have access to him, and we want to make sure that he looks at the issues just like we do.
So money gives you that access?
Well, I'm not saying it's just money. Now, when I say assist individuals, assistance can be a broad-based term. It could be financial contributions. It could be situations where you're working on their campaign. I remember it was a lady that lived in the last go-round when Stacey Abrams ran in 2020. This lady lived in Louisiana, but she was working on the Abrams campaign by calling individuals in Atlanta and in Georgia, trying to get them to go out to the polls and to support Stacey Abrams. So, in this day and time of 2022, I mean, you can assist any campaign you want in a lot of different ways. But the thing is that we have to make we have to understand that what's happening elsewhere is impacting what we're doing here. Another perfect example. There's an attorney named Charles Maduka, and Mr. Maduka is from Nigeria, right? He's an attorney here, and about 3 weeks ago, he came to me. He said, "Todd, we have an individual that's coming here from Nigeria who is running for the presidency of Nigeria." He said he is an individual that is right now is the front runner to win the election, which will be in February of 2023. He says he's coming to Dallas, and I'd like you to be able to make some kind of contribution and support him. Mm-hmm. Now, that's dude in another country.
Right.
I mean, what's that got to do with me?
But when you have a president of another country in your phone,
right?
I mean, that's not bad.
Well, a prospective president.
Okay.
Yes, but if he wins,
but the thing is, always be doing me like that.
Oh man,
always facts, man, facts. But okay, the facts are what they are.
Right.
And we need to be more globally and also locally with that.
Correct. With our support.
So globally and locally on that.
Because the thing is this: as far as our senators, I mean, Ted Cruz and John Cornyn, they're not really advocating my positions or the interests that I have, even though they're individuals that are in my state. They're my U.S. senators. But I mean, I haven't seen anything that they've done that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in agreement with that. But John Cornyn, he kind of got on the gumbill a little bit, So I mean, that was halfway.
No, yeah, that was it was a moment of passion.
Yeah. But the thing is that supporting other individuals in other states who have interests such as ours, that's something that's important. And you know what, Ed? Other people on the other side are doing that right now, every day.
What's up with that?
Okay, let's talk about this. We've heard all this. Oh, we got to ban CRT, which is supposed to be critical race theory, from the schools. Oh, we're making young Caucasian kids feel bad because they're learning about the horrors of slavery in the past and secondary citizenship during the Jim Crow era. So we don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want our kids to feel bad. So what they've done, they had this group called Moms of Liberty. And what these women have done is that they have started up 200 different chapters around the country where they're reaching out, trying to get to influence politicians all the way from the school board all the way to the U.S. Congress. And what they're trying to do is say that, hey, look, we don't want this CRT. We don't want to know about the 1619 project. They're going around banning, leading the vanguard of banning books in school libraries and things of that nature. But they've got 200 chapters of these mothers who are reaching out, trying to influence things that are going to impact us. Now, if you remember, I don't know, how intently you read the news sometimes.
Sometimes,
yeah,
I see that.
But-
Shade, there you go, throwing
but-
shade.
but
Sometimes.
You've heard like out in South Lake Carroll's
Yeah.
district where they've been, we're against this CRT, things of this nature, right? If you go over to the Grapevine Colleyville school district, they've been doing the same thing. Oh, we banning books and stuff like that. Well, what they're doing, they have a group of people who have a common interest, which I think is wrong, right? But they're attempting to influence those individuals that are going to be on those school boards, the legislature, things of that nature. So, if I see a person that's running in Grapevine, Colleyville, who's saying, "Hey, I think y'all are off base," then I need to support that person,
Right.
right? Because when it happens over there, and they start getting, when they get success in the places that they, the easy pickups, then they start coming for other areas. Like they may try to come to DISD with all of that. Or they might try to come to DeSoto. They might try to come to any of the other school districts.
Because they have the momentum.
Because they have the momentum. Because when you start getting that, 1 victory, 2 victories, 3 victories, oh, we're getting recognized, right? Sometimes the greasy wheel gets what? Gets the attention.
And the press will pick up on that too. And then they say it's a mounting.
Right, it's a mounting phenomenon.
Right.
Right.
Because that's the way they did with the Tea Party.
Right,
The
right,
Tea
the
Party
same
initially
thing.
was, oh, wow, they that's clever. Tea
Right.
Party. And
So, I
now
mean-
all of a sudden, it's in their Tea Party caucus and everything else.
Right. So the thing is this. So we have to look, and the first thing is, what are your common interests, right? I mean, what is it that because we can't. The one thing that I learned when I went to Howard University for law school, we had 10,000 black folks at Howard University, and up to that time, I'd been around black folks, of course, because I grew up black.
Yeah.
But the thing is that when you have 10,000 black folks, you really see a difference in people, right?
What do you mean by that? 10,000 black folks.
Well, the thing is this: at Howard, we had the type.
And I love the way you're doing my role normally in the show. You just the snide little remarks in there. That's 2 of them in there you didn't do it in there.
Okay, well, at Howard, the one thing that amazed me is that we had black Republicans that were on the yard, who came up and they had their version of how things should be. We had 5th generation Howardites, right?
Wow.
Who came in, how you doing, kind of Professor Malenko type stuff. They were real studious or whatever, or just kind of laid back. We had folks that were 1st generation college students. Parents were from the deep South that were sharecroppers. They had a different type of interest. We just trying to get into school and stay in the school, right? We had a lot of militant brothers, militant, hey, fight the power, revolution, things of that nature. And so when you looked at it, you're like, it's not like we all think the same.
Monolithic.
Yeah, we're not monolithic. We don't think the same. Now we may have some common goals. Now, in all of those people, being black, we were still, aware of the injustices that this country had perpetrated against, our forefathers, foremothers, and things of that nature for hundreds of years. So that's always something that's kind of overriding. But the thing is that you still have different viewpoints as it relates to how things should be resolved. So when the first thing we have to do is we have to find those politicians, those causes that support the interests that we have. And just because somebody's black doesn't mean that they have the same interests as I do.
Everybody is a brother, is not a brother.
Well, I'm going to say it like this. Everybody black, they don't support all the interests that I have.
I was hoping you'd find a way to make that rhyme like I did or something like that.
Well, you know what? I always, the one thing that was popping in my mind when you said that, I thought about my man bugging out from Do the Right Thing.
Okay, so
You know,
that's good. Let's go with that one.
And you know what Bugging Out always said?
What's that?
Stay black.
Stay black. All right,
So,
stay black.
So when you think about that, if you tell a black person to stay black, in essence, they trying to say, well, maybe blackness in color, maybe a state of mind.
State of mind.
State of mind.
So, all
even
right.
though my daughter would take issue with
She's
that.
at Howard.
Well, but then I told her that, and she was like, oh, so Rachel Donzel, so she's black because she has state of mind.
State of mind. All right, so what we're going to do, and Gabe, you pick up on this because we got to go to a break. So stay black, and we'll be right back. All right, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
I'm Pastor Freddie Haynes. I listen to the Commish show on the Fishbowl for my social activism information so I can be a better agitator.
Men, you've been spending countless hours on YouTube searching for encouragement and empowerment. I want to give you the tool that you need today. It's InTheHuddleOnDemand.com. Go to InTheHuddleOnDemand.com today for the encouragement and empowerment that you've been searching for. You'll get a behind-the-scenes look of what's been going on with In the Huddle with Chris Howell. Go and check it out today.
Hello? Hey, I just clocked out. What are you doing? Thinking about me? You are always on my mind.
All right.
Because I miss you.
That's it. Gabe, Gabe and myself have been, he's been dealing with my inner soul, man. Because I came on earlier, man, on the previous show, and he had that mellow music. Go ahead, give me that mellow music again. So he had the mellow music on, and it was like, hey, welcome to Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd, where we're going to be talking about politics and law and how it affects you. But,
Right.
he knows that we don't do that like that. It's like a Tina Turner type thing. Go ahead, kill that off now. He knows that when me and you, like two brothers from the hood,
Right.
we don't do it like that. So, he wants to play that other, fight the power. Go ahead and hit that, man. So then he wants to play that. So go ahead, hit it, Gabe. See?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. I get it back. So, we have to do it like that. So we like to thank everybody for sharing this out because, we want to go ahead and give that information. As we often said, that we have to be local, but we also have to think globally as well. So we want to deal with that as well. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show and be a co-promoter and also a co-host on the show because I love the attorneys. I love the legal profession and everything. I want to send a shout out to Calvin Johnson, who I understand is being tagged as well. Barbara Ward, thank you for tagging people as well. If you could tag some groups, that would be good too. We want more people to know about that as well. Also, Curtis Young. I know you probably don't know who Curtis Young is. He was a former intern here on the Commish radio show.
Oh, really?
Yep, and Curtis just passed the bar yesterday.
Really? Congratulations.
Yeah. So
now, where did you go to law school?
Thurgood.
Oh, Thurgood.
Yeah.
All right.
So, that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Commish radio show we put out. We help a little people along the way, man.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And thank you for helping us out, man. So help us out. Help me understand who we should be thinking about in the United States, and sending some money, sending some resources,
Right. Well,
re-tagging and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. Well, like I said, you got to look at those common interests. What are things that that actually concern you? You know, one thing that I was real disappointed about after the George Floyd protests and things of that nature is that we weren't able to do what? Get police reform passed. Mm-hmm. You know, out of all of that marching, right? All of that stuff, we haven't gotten police reform passed one bit.
Well, that's because people said defund the police.
Well, I do think that defund the police, I think that was a bad slogan.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It should have just been
reform.
Reform.
Program. Police reform now.
Right. Yeah.
You know, instead of defund the police, because like, oh, you gonna close the police department now?
Well, because you know what, the first time somebody said something to me was my legal assistant at work, and she comes in, and she's like, "Yeah, we want to defund the police." I was like, "Girl, what you talking about? I ain't trying to defund the police. What are you talking about?"
But then somebody will criticize you and say, "Mike, you ain't staying black. We want to do that because we all in this together. We want to defund the police."
Well, the thing is this: staying black doesn't mean being foolish. Nobody.
Oh, man! Hey, stop the fear. Oh, that was good. Man, you being like Charleston White up in here. So you just gonna say something like that, man?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is this: it was a bad slogan. It was bad marketing.
Bad marketing.
It was not what you were trying to do.
No,
you weren't trying to defund the police. You were trying to reprogram monies that were going to the police department that would have been used in a more beneficial aspect with respect to interacting with individuals that were in mental and physical, crisis.
Exactly, because that's what they should have did. You know,
So
hire some people to go out and talk to someone that wants to commit suicide instead of trying to arrest them, and then shooting them once you get there.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing.
So I mean, that was just bad. But we didn't get police reform. We didn't get it passed. Right. We've had all of this voter suppression, all these voter suppression laws passed. We haven't gotten one national law passed with respect to that. We haven't had a reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act, which the Supreme Court is continually to do what? Just whittle away at. So the thing is this: you got to kind of look at and figure out what my interests are, and then who is advocating for those interests. Now, I can say this. During the 2020, I believe I even sent some money to Joe Manchin, man.
Joe Manchin.
Joe Manchin.
Ain't that guy that thinks he's a Democrat was a Republican, or a Republican that think he's a Republican but's a Democrat?
Well, he's a Democrat, and some people have said that he has acted more like a Republican.
I just said that.
I mean, he has stood in the way of reforming the filibuster. Mm-hmm. He stood in the way of the voting rights legislation, even though he thought that he could reformat it and get 10 Republicans to come along with him, which never did happen. Mm-hmm. But he has passed, he has been involved with some other things that were beneficial, that I think not only to black folks, but to the country as a whole. So, what I'm trying to say is that everybody that you support doesn't have to be lockstep with everything that you believe.
You can't have everything lockstep.
Right.
Because it's only one you, and it's like everybody's not going to be with you 100%.
But the thing is this: a lot of times people, they feel that way. If you don't see every issue as I see it, then you're a sellout, or you're not down with the people, or whatever, things such as that, and that's not the case.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's not the case. I don't have to be in agreement with every issue. And a perfect example I've said on this show is a lot of times, after 2020, when Trump started activating all these folks and making them all feel crazy and emboldened. Hey, the first time in my life, I went and bought a firearm and started shooting, taking classes, going to the range, got my family involved with it, bought them firearms. So if anybody right now is talking about, hey, look, we want to strip away the firearms, I'm not for that. I'm not for that issue, right? But if a person has that position, I'm not going to not vote for that person if he's got 10 other issues that I do like. I've never been a one issue person.
You sound like Republicans saying they voting for Herschel Walker.
Now, how do you get that? Now, how do you get that?
Hey, you have a script, man. Why don't you read the script?
I don't have a script. I just have some buzzwords.
Well, get your buzzwords in.
But what do you mean that sounds like Herschel Walker?
But you just did what Republicans do about Herschel, because Herschel get up there and say, well, I'm really against abortion, and I don't think you should have abortion, and I just say that football's football, and I just don't believe in fumbling the ball. He say something like that, and Republicans sit there and say, I'm with Herschel. And he goes say, well, wait a minute, did you see this lady had receipts, obviously. Do you see that? And then they go back and they say, I don't know what you're talking about on that, but I'm with Herschel because Herschel's with this. So there's a litmus test. You just did it just a minute ago.
Well, I totally disagree with that.
Of course.
I totally disagree with that. I gave
because
an
the only reason why you're disagreeing with that is because when we saying Herschel Walker, that stay black,
right,
don't apply to him.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. But the thing is this. With Herschel Walker, in my opinion, I don't think he has the intellectual capacity to be a senator.
Well, with that fraudulent imitation I did of him, and actually you would say that. I'm just saying that's pretty much the way he talks.
Yeah, I know, but the thing, I don't see how that equates with what I just said.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that Republicans know that, and they still gonna vote for him.
What I said was that
got it.
If a Democrat did not agree with me on one issue, which in this case was dealing with gun control, however you want to say it, right?
Okay.
That I would not use that as a basis to not vote for him or to support him. That's what I said. Okay. I just want to make sure the record's clear when you comparing me to somebody supporting Herschel Walker.
Man, you law school people, man. Y'all
yeah.
Hey,
but
I'm gonna get real quiet now.
No. But the thing is this.
Not for long, though.
In the past, like I said, I've looked at, races not only within the state of Texas, but, throughout the country to support people.
Yeah, because we've talked about several of those off camera and everything. You got any that you want to talk about?
Well, we've got a lot of Senate. The one thing is this. The Senate races are real important.
Yeah. They're
real important for a lot of different reasons.
I throw some names out there. Mandela Barnes.
Yeah,
Mandela. I mean, you can't be no more black than that staying black when you.
Yeah. Mandela.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know too many white people named Mandela.
Yeah, but the thing is this.
No.
Mandela.
That's the thing to Google. How many white people you know named Mandela?
None that I'm aware of. No. Well, you know what? I'm betting somebody out there white named Mandela.
Okay, let's say get Gabe. Look that up. Look it up and
see. How are we gonna know whether they're white or not?
We're gonna apply to Rachel. What's her name?
Doja?
Yeah, we're gonna apply that. Let's see if that works.
All right. So this is the thing. As you make your determinations of where you're gonna go, who you're gonna support, of course, you don't want to throw money or time away.
Right.
You want to have somebody that has a shot to win.
Right.
So when we look at, so a lot of times I look at the polls. I mean, I look at them on a regular basis. And when I say regular, I mean like every day.
So which polling site do you normally look at?
I usually look at two polling sites. I usually look at realclearpolitics.com.
Okay.
They have polls every day. And then I also look at 538, and you spell that out, 538, not the numbers, but spell it out, .com. And they have the latest polls, and they go through and they do a averaging with respect to
you do that every day?
Every day. Maybe 2-3 times a day.
Damn.
Yeah, I look at them.
Instead of updating your Facebook status and everything.
Well, I'm not really on Facebook that much. But
you're just losing your Facebook people right there.
But the thing is that, well, they know.
Say, well, you got something from 1999 as your latest.
They say, it's the third. They say it's the third Saturday in the month. Mike's about to come on, so they know. So, but the thing when you look at the race in Wisconsin, is showing that Johnson, who's the incumbent,
that's a denier, election denier.
Election denier
should not even be running for office because to me you're an insurrectionist when you're doing that.
I agree totally. And he has said a lot of things to support Trump and the election lie. And you know what? What's really funny though is that even before the election, after the 2020 election, it was a lady that went up to Johnson at some kind of festival, and she pretended like she was a Republican. And she was like, man, you know something went bad, right? You know, they did something to, for the Trump to lose. And Johnson was like, no. He says, when you look at it, you can see that, I got 50,000 more votes from Republican votes than Trump did. So, people just didn't vote for him, right? But then when it came out that, of course, once she got all that on tape, she came out and said, Johnson even admits that Trump just lost. And so then he was like, oh, no, they were fooling me or whatever.
Fake news.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's an election denier. But the thing is that he's beating Barnes on the poll average by 2.9 right now.
2.9.
2.9%.
He's up by almost 3%.
Almost 3% in the polls.
And that which probably means he's going. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, 3% is pretty. That's pretty strong, Yeah,
because then we're also dealing with Mandela Barnes is black.
Right.
So some people are not going to be honest by saying they're going to vote for somebody black. They say that because,
right,
the way you phrase the question.
And guess what? His name Mandela. Some folks ain't gonna vote for him just because his name Mandela.
No.
But then they're trying to hit him over crime a lot. They're trying to say that he was trying to defund the police.
Well, they say, look at him, he's black.
Yeah. So
all black people want to defund the police.
So, but that race is a really
that's what they're gonna
That's
say.
An important race, though. That's an important race.
So, Democrats can flip the Senate, or not flip the Senate, but retain the Senate.
Correct. They have a better chance, based upon the polling, to maintain the Senate than they do the House.
Yeah.
So those, and the thing is this, even if we just hold on to the Senate, that's important.
Which goes back to the Herschel Walker thing.
Right,
got
goes back to Herschel
Warnock
Walker. Now the thing is this, when we go to the Herschel Walker, the one thing is this, the poll average right now is that Warnock is up on Herschel Walker on the poll average of 3.9%, almost 4%. So I'm feeling pretty good with respect to Warnock. But you know what? We can't sleep on it for the next 30 days if that's who you want to support. What can we do? You could send his campaign some money, right? To be able to do what? To make sure that he has advertisement, commercials, things of that nature. You could also do stuff like what we said earlier. Could volunteer to do some phone calling and things of that nature.
Okay, so I want to get everyone involved in this that are listening in on Facebook and everything. And this goes with any and everybody that's listening in. Take notes of what we're talking about. And if you happen to have your laptop beside you, key in these websites. You said Raphael Warnock. What website is that?
No, that's all on the 538.com.
538.com.
Correct.
Okay, and Raphael Warnock, look that up and everything. And Gabe, if you can put that on there.
You mean if you want to contribite to Warnock?
Yeah. Gabe,
okay, you can go to what we call Act Blue.
Act Blue.
You just type in Act Blue, and then you can make a donation to him.
Okay.
Now, but wait a minute. Let's not be short-sighted, right? We talked about what? Helping his campaign, giving his money campaign, right?
Right.
But what you could do other things too.
Like what?
Like maybe you would like to Google get out the vote programs that are in Georgia, right?
Right.
And then do what? Send a contribution to them. Or man the phones for them also.
And you can do that it's like you're working from home. Instead of you being in the phone bank down at I'm gonna tell my age, you downtown and you working phone banks and everything, and you have to go down and sign in. You have to do that. You can do that from home.
Right, do it right from home. So from that standpoint, I mean, you could do that. And you know what? Now I'm talking about, of course, everything across the country, right? Because we're all connected, right?
Connected.
But the thing is that we can't forget about our state of Texas, even though some of these races look a little bleaker, right?
What do you mean? We don't have a blue wave or nothing like that?
Well, like
you're rolling your eyes, man.
If we look at,
it's a blue wave, but it's a shallow pool.
Yeah, if we look at Texas, and I've supported my boy Beto, I've given him money, but Beto down by 7 points. 7
points is a lot to come out. Wait a minute, hold on. Spoiler alert, we're going to lose some people, man.
What's that?
I mean, because they come in and listen to the show and everything, and then if we say something they don't agree with, then they're just going to lose. We just going to bail
Well, the
out.
thing is, he's down 7 points. Now, The one thing that we could do is
What can we
this.
do?
You know, there are a lot of women, right, that are upset with respect to the Dobbs decision and the restrictive laws that are being passed and imposed with respect to abortion. So maybe that could be something that would, that will imbue everyone with a sense of mission. I mean, I'm upset as a male with respect to the decision because I think it was just crazy. But the thing is this: so we do have some wild cards. So we can't just sit there and say, okay, he's 7 points down, so we just gonna give up. Like I said, I've contributed to him, even though he's down by 7.
And even though he said that about guns before too.
Yeah, even though he said that about guns too. I'm a supporter because I'm not a one-issue person.
Right.
Right.
See,
Right.
I got you.
Plus on top of that,
now this time you smiling now. man.
plus on
See?
top of it,
He said
I
something
just
like
don't
that.
think how it's gonna pass anyway. So, so why am I gonna get all? Yeah, and if it does, I got mine already. So what difference?
He can't take your gun.
No, they can't take mine. Right.
Why you
Right.
get bass in your voice when you say that?
No, I'm just saying. That we've talked in the past how historically
I know.
Politicians
I know.
have
So
used gun control
what
to
they
defrag,
need,
you know.
what folks, what y'all need to do is you need to look at the show that we did with black people and guns about how they've tried to historically take away, not historically take away, but historically not give you the right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
what
now
else
you know
we got?
what? One race that we may want to look at. I've contributed to this race. Is the race out in Ohio, and I know everybody. Ohio.
Oh, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Well, you got a guy named Ryan, right, who is running against Vance. You know the Vance, the hillbilly
That was a good
guy.
book.
Yeah.
I like Hillbilly Elegy, man. That was a good book, man.
Yeah, well,
and then he sold out.
Right, with Trump. But Ryan is a U.S. congressman from Ohio, and he's running, he's trying to kind of dumb it down a little bit, right? But the thing is that 538 has that race with the polling even right now.
Now, I like that one, and I want people in Ohio to vote for, what's the guy's name again?
His name is Ryan. Last name is Ryan.
All right, so vote for Ryan because I was looking at the news last week and doing research like you did earlier when you said, well, perhaps you did read this. But anyway, I was doing it when Trump was up there announcing vote for J.D. Vance, and Trump literally said J.D. Vance is
kissing my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? Ryan was able to use that in the debate this past week. He said, while he's over here kissing somebody's ass, I'm over here trying to fight for the residents of Ohio.
Man,
so yeah,
you ain't saying the word. You must gotta go to church tomorrow.
Well, yeah, some of my church members on here. I'm not
Okay. I knew it was something else.
but that Ohio race, I mean, that's the one that, hey, look, if we could win that race, we being Democrats, right? If we could win that race,
so that means we'll retain it. So with Mandela, it's slim right now, and if we get with Ryan, it'll be better. Okay?
Well, the thing is, if we could maintain everything and get Ryan, then we would have 51 votes.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
Now, because you have to understand, Mandela is running against Johnson, but Johnson is the incumbent.
Right.
So he's already in the 50.
Yeah.
Now, one race that seems to be causing a little consternation in Democratic circles is in Nevada, because you have an incumbent Democrat there who goes by the name of Cortez Masto. She's a female Hispanic, the first Hispanic to be elected as senator from New Mexico.
Nevada.
From Nevada. And so she's kind of in a dogfight. She's got a guy named Laxalt.
Laxalt.
Okay.
Yeah, whose daddy used to be the senator.
He used to be a senator.
So when you got that, you got two things going on. You got, like, in politics, we always say we don't believe in hereditary rights. See, you got me going down.
Yeah,
See,
right. I got you.
I got degrees too, man.
Yeah, I know.
You ain't the
I
only
know,
one.
man. I know.
I come up with your law degree and everything, making me feel inferior.
you know, but you know what? But you know what?
But back to the deal.
When
What?
SMU gets a vice president and a Supreme Court justice, then I'll probably
There
recognize
you go.
your degrees.
Okay, all right. There you go. There you go. But that's out though, man. You know, so people actually voting for him because of something his daddy did too,
Yeah.
and the fact he's with Trump.
Yeah, he's with Trump, and he's right now, based on the polling, the average, and this is the polling average, he's about 0.7 up. We had a
0.7.
poll.
We got a good chance on it.
Yeah, but we still got a chance with respect to that.
We
Right?
got to we just need to hold it. There.
Right, because you got to remember, we still got 30 days before the
We
election.
need to hold it.
We got to hold that. Now, I have seen two polls that came out, one from late September from CNN that showed Cortez Masto as being 0.3 up. And then we had another one that came out from USA Today on the 7th of October that showed her up by 2 points. So it's not a lost cause. So if somebody wanted to say, hey, look, you know, I want to give some money out there. If they said that, hey, look, I want to do some phone banking or something right there, that would be something that would be advantageous that we might be able to pull out. We've got a sister running in North Carolina.
In North Carolina.
North Carolina, and you know what, man? North Carolina always pains me because it always looked like it could go the right way. And then, you know, it's like the Dallas Cowboys. You know, always act like they about to do something. And then they just disappoint you at the end, man.
You done done. Don't you say nothing bad about the Dallas Cowboys. I just lose it.
Dude, I just pointed pointed out the factual basis.
I just lose it when you say something bad about the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, you know what I've been saying for the last 5 years?
What's that?
That if your wife disappointed you only half as much as the Cowboys, you would have divorced her by now.
Your wife looking at this?
Yeah.
Can you get in the house later on after this show's over? Will you let me know?
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay. All right. So what else we got?
So, but in North Carolina, we have a sister that's running named Beasley.
Okay. I'm gonna look her up right now.
She is a former Supreme Court justice in North Carolina. The seat that they're running for is an open seat. It was a Republican seat. She's making a pretty good show down there. She's about 2 points down, right? But, right, she's had a string of polls that showed that they were even. She's had a few that have shown that she was up, you know, by a point or two. So that's one that, you know, but, you know, like I said, North Carolina has kind of disappointed me so many times, you know, just kind of watching. You think it might do the right thing, but, you know, it may not. But we need to give it a shot. You know, out in Arizona, you know, the Arizona races are really crucial, I think. And they're crucial not only for the U.S. Senate, but I think that the governor's race is crucial in Arizona. For not only Arizona, but for the whole country. Because they've got this Republican out there who's running for governor on the Republican side named Carrie Lake.
Yeah.
Man, this woman is bat crazy. You know, she swears that, you know...
We got 1 more minute. We're gonna
Okay, she swears that Trump, you know, she's all 100% in with respect to this election denial thing. And just think, if she's able to win out there, what did we talk about with those moms of liberty? They get a what? They get a victory here, and then they start doing what? Start trying to use that as momentum. So, you know, that's a race there that's I mean, it's right now, it's showing that Kelly in the Arizona race, that's showing that the U.S. Senator is up. But in the Carrie Lake, yes, it's almost an even race for the governor.
Okay.
So that's something I think that we really need to try to support, even though it's not going to really do anything for us individually sitting here in Texas. But it will do something for maintaining our democracy in maybe this country.
All right. So as we get ready to go to a close, Gabe's looking over at me because he's looking at the clock and everything. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to Legal Standpoint with Michael J. Todd. You know, Michael J. Todd.
J. Todd. That's
yeah,
correct.
I know.
That's correct.
I just said G because like G. I mean.
Oh, G. Okay. All right. You know what? There's a little tension in here today, man.
I don't know, man.
We usually just kind of,
we're
just kind of jovial, man.
We're good. We're jovial.
Hey, wait,
I don't know. I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've been always want to say that.
Well, what you saying?
But I like to thank all those people who sharing. We have a lot of views coming on as well, and people sharing. Like send shout out to Cheryl Gillespie who's sharing, and also Barbara Ward who's commented on a lot of stuff as well. And hey, want you guys to continue to do that as we are able to get this out. We have 119 shares, so we want to make sure.
Wait, yeah. And you know what? I want to say thank you to Patricia Lewis for watching.
Okay, what you got? You doing shout outs now? Okay.
Okay. And
okay.
My man Brian Fuellen from Fuellen International.
All right. Okay.
Well, his father runs Fuellen International.
Okay.
But yeah. So we're real happy to see everybody.
Okay. So that's what we got going on with that. So we are able to go ahead and make sure that we are on next. Well, we got how many more shows before the end of the year is out?
We've got 2, huh?
2 more.
2 more. And the thing is this: by the time we come back next time, the elections that we're talking about today will have been over with. So we can talk about, hey, what's the state of our democracy at that point?
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll still have one, and hopefully they'll invite us back to be here next week. So thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next month here, because we will give you a election recap on what happened. We want to give you this election preview, and now we're going to go with the election recap next month. All right. Thank you, man.
All right.
I listen to the Commish show on the Fishbowl for my social activism information so I can be a better agitator.
Hey, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's, located at 107 North Cedar Ridge in Duncanville, Texas. They're really hot, just like the Commish radio show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We will see you later at Thibodeau's. Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio.